While everyone's been focused on whether Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger, they've been missing the real story. And it's way darker than anyone imagined, because new information just surfaced suggesting that ERIKA Kirk and Tyler Robinson weren't strangers at all. In fact, sources are now claiming they knew each other intimately long before Charlie Kirk was ever in the picture. And when I say intimately, I mean they allegedly shared a bed together multiple times over years.
And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
But here's where it gets insane. If these allegations are true, then ERIKA didn't just know Tyler. She allegedly paid him to set up the assassination own husband. And the reason nobody connected the dots until now is because ERIKA Kirk has been lying about her relationships for years. Affairs, secret connections, manipulative behavior, all hidden behind a carefully crafted image of the grieving Christian widow. But that mask is cracking fast. Let's start from the beginning, because this story doesn't start with Charlie's It starts way before that, back when ERIKA was building her public image in the pageant world.
The pageant world, to me, is something that it was an interesting season of life. It was nothing that I was ever for. It was nothing that was ever on my radar.
She won Miss Arizona USA in 2012 when the Miss USA organization was owned by Donald Trump. But what she never talks about is who she was working for behind the scenes, what modeling agencies, what networks, what circles she was moving through. Because that world, the one ERIKA came from, has been repeatedly linked in court documents and survivor testimony to pipeline systems used by Jeffrey Epstein's network. And speaking of Epstein, let's talk about something ERIKA refuses to address. Charlie Kirk was obsessed with transparency around the Epstein files.
We as the American people deserve to have every Epstein file released with no redactions whatsoever.
He said that on camera multiple times. He demanded the entire client list be made public. He wanted every document the government had on Epstein released on an easy-to-access website. Charlie was loud about this. It wasn't a side issue for him. It was a priority.
And we, the American people, ran on transparency. We deserve to see the entire client list. Every document the government has regarding the Epstein files, we, the American people, should have on an easy-to-access website.
Now Charlie's dead, and the woman who claims she's honoring his legacy has completely ghosted the Epstein topic. Not a single word, not a single statement, not even acknowledgement that new files just dropped.
I honored my husband by completing all of his pre-planned fall media tour hits for his book, any commitment he had. I wanted to honor that for him.
Oh, she honored his book tour. She honored his media commitments. But the one thing Charlie was publicly fighting for, the Epstein files, radio silence. And Charlie's parents noticed. According to people close to the family, they're furious. They've been side-eyeing ERIKA hard because they can't understand why she won't touch this subject. Why won't she clarify anything? Why won't she continue what Charlie started? Unless she can't. Unless there's a reason she needs those files to stay buried. Because here's what people are putting together now. Over the past few weeks, a massive trove of new Epstein-related documents was released. Millions of files, emails, internal memos, timelines, and some of the content is horrifying. There's one email in particular that's been circulating. It's from the recent Epstein file releases, and it's chilling. Can bring a little baby back for you or two, boys or girls. So, Madonna, we'll email when we get to Amsterdam. That's a real email from the files. And if you pause and look at it, you'll see exactly how deep this network ran. These aren't just vague allegations anymore. These are documented communications showing how children were being trafficked, arranged, and delivered to wealthy people. And ERIKA, she's doing the exact opposite of what she promised.
This isn't about me. This isn't about my life. This is about the legacy my husband left behind, but it's also about how we're fighting the good fight for our country.
Fighting the good fight, except she's not fighting at all. She's avoiding. And Charlie's parents say that's when the pieces finally clicked for them. Because years before Charlie's they noticed something changing in their son. He stopped making decisions on his own. He'd say things like, I need to check with ERIKA, even over things he used to handle confidently by himself. Friends who'd known him since college suddenly vanished from his life, cut off, gone. And then came the legal documents. According to multiple insiders close to the family, Charlie's parents discovered that their son had signed a series of private agreements. these weren't normal prenups. One document, described as a marital compliance contract, allegedly required Charlie to run major public statements, financial decisions, and even professional relationships through ERIKA First. It reportedly restricted his contact with people she labeled as threatening to the marriage, and mandated counseling only through channels she approved. Let that sink in. Charlie Kirk, a grown man who built a multi-million-dollar political organization, allegedly had to ask his wife for permission before making public statements or seeing certain people. His parents say Charlie showed up at their home more than once looking physically unwell, drained, defeated. And when Charlie finally requested an audit to investigate suspicious finances at Turning Point, he was suddenly dead. And no one continued that investigation after, which means someone didn't want any of that going public. And ERIKA might be protecting whoever that was. But let's bring it back to Tyler Robinson, because this is where the allegations get explosive.
This court will recognize Ms. ERIKA Kirk as the designated victim representative in this case.
ERIKA was officially named the victim's representative, which means she speaks on behalf of Charlie in court. So why is she now running around doing interviews claiming Tyler Robinson is 100% guilty before the trial even starts?
And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
No ifs, ands, or buts, she's certain. But here's the problem. DNA evidence seized from the crime scene consisted of a mixture of at least 5 different individuals. 5. And when that came up in court, the response was evasive. 5 people's DNA. And yet ERIKA is adamant that Tyler acted alone. Why? Because if Tyler wasn't alone, then people start asking who else was involved. And that leads back to connections nobody wants exposed, like the fact that ERIKA has family in Utah, where Tyler's family is from. Her aunt and uncle, Carla and Jack Solomon, live in Salt Lake City. Carla owns an investment company, and there are allegations, not confirmed but circulating heavily, that Carla's company previously did business with Tyler Robinson's father, Matt Robinson. Matt Robinson owns Precision Granite and Marble LLC, and that company was allegedly contracted to pave over the crime scene at Utah Valley University just days after Charlie was Grass and sod from where Charlie's tent stood were ripped out and replaced with bricks and concrete pavers. The entire area was demolished and rebuilt. UVU confirmed they allowed the courtyard to be altered, citing safety and memorial preparations. But they refused to reveal who the contractor was. Convenient, right? But wait, it gets weirder. According to Google Trends data, over 100 people searched for Precision Granite and Marble LLC in Israel in November 2021. And yet there's never been a company under that name operating in Israel. So why were people in Israel searching for Tyler Robinson's dad's company years before Charlie's? Now let's talk about the real bombshell. The allegation that's been quietly spreading but hasn't hit mainstream yet. Sources are now claiming that ERIKA Kirk and Tyler Robinson knew each other long before Charlie Kirk entered the picture. Not casually, intimately. They allegedly had an affair that lasted years. And according to people who've seen messages and communications, they shared a bed together multiple times. If that's true, then everything changes. Because it means ERIKA wasn't just some grieving widow caught off guard by a random attack. It means she knew the accused assassin personally, intimately, and possibly paid him to carry out the hit. And this wouldn't be the first time ERIKA lied about her relationships. People who knew her before Charlie say she had multiple affairs, some emotional, some physical, all kept hidden. She was manipulative, calculated, and knew exactly how to present different versions of herself depending on who she was talking to. But after Charlie died, she pivoted hard into the role of the holy, grieving Christian wife.
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
She dramatically forgave Tyler just 2 days after the assassination. She said she trusted the Lord to serve justice.
But we serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Let the Lord handle it. That's what she said. So why did she then file a motion for a speedy trial? Why is she now publicly urging the jury to find Tyler guilty? Why is she tainting the jury pool before the trial even starts? And here's another red flag. The lawyer ERIKA chose to file that speedy trial motion, Jeffrey Neiman, the same lawyer who defended Alex Acosta when he gave Jeffrey Epstein that infamous plea deal in 2008. The deal that let Epstein plead guilty to 2 lesser charges instead of facing federal charges that could have resulted in a life sentence. So ERIKA, who refuses to talk about the Epstein files, hired the lawyer connected to Epstein's sweetheart deal. And nobody's supposed to find that suspicious? People online are already connecting the dots. They're saying ERIKA's freaking out because the narrative she and Turning Point tried to control isn't sticking. People are still digging, still asking questions, and the more she talks, the less believable she becomes. Remember that Zoom call just days after Charlie was the one where ERIKA was giggling and joking around while talking about merch sales? That's the real ERIKA, not this serious pink suit-wearing interview circuit version.
You can't explain authenticity. You either feel it or you don't. But the young students see authenticity and they can immediately sniff it out. They can also see if there's desperation in the room.
Oh, we're sniffing something out, all right? And it's not authenticity, it's desperation. ERIKA recently went on Fox News again, claiming she wants total transparency about what happened to Charlie.
Absolutely. I want there to be no hesitation in understanding of what happened to my husband that day. I want there to always be full transparency, because what I don't want to have happen is for there not to be, and then I am relying then on social media and other news outlets to explain the narrative rather than saying, hey, this is what happened. This is what here's all of the, it's just as hard, all of the facts on the table for you guys to see. And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
But here's the thing. After Turning Point spent 5 months dodging questions, gaslighting everyone, and hiding footage of the assassination, now all of a sudden ERIKA demands transparency? The comments on that interview say it all. That interview, one user wrote, "There is definitely no confusion. A televised psyop won't change the truth." Another said, "It's like making Yoko Ono the lead singer of the Beatles after John Lennon was assassinated." And that comparison hits different when you realize what people are really saying. They think ERIKA orchestrated this, that she manipulated Charlie for years, isolated him from friends and family, controlled his decisions through legal contracts, and when he finally started asking the wrong questions about Turning Point's finances, she had him eliminated. And Tyler Robinson, he wasn't some random attacker. He was someone she knew, someone she had history with, someone she could control, and possibly someone she paid. Now let's loop this back to Epstein one more time, because there's a pattern here that's impossible to ignore. Epstein's network relied on control. They used attractive women, often from modeling or pageant circles, to infiltrate elite spaces. These women would gather intel, move messages, normalize extremist ideas, and report back. And when survivors describe how they were recruited, it often starts with something that sounded normal. Modeling opportunities, pageants, international charity work. ERIKA won Miss Arizona USA in 2012. She worked in the pageant and modeling world during the exact time period when Epstein's network was at its peak. And then she pivoted to international ministry work. She's publicly talked about working with victims abroad, including time connected to an orphanage in Romania and work in China. But even that wasn't as innocent as it sounds. The area in Romania where she was operating had locals accusing evangelical ministries of kidnapping children and trafficking them out of the country. These children were being found in the UK, in Israel, and on undisclosed private islands. Sound familiar? And ERIKA has a direct connection to at least one name in Epstein's black book, John Mappin, a Scientologist. According to reports, John and his wife Ira Mappin became friendly with Charlie and ERIKA to the point where they were traveling together. In 2019, the couples were even pictured visiting Jerusalem side by side. So ERIKA has connections to someone in Epstein's black book. She worked in industries linked to Epstein's recruitment pipelines. She refuses to talk about the Epstein files. She hired a lawyer connected to Epstein's plea deal, and her husband, who was loudly demanding the Epstein files be released, is now dead. And right after Charlie's death, representatives tied to Turning Point tried to retrieve his laptop and phone, claiming they were company property. Charlie's parents resisted, but the devices allegedly vanished anyway, with vague claims they were handed over to authorities, claims that were never clearly confirmed. So whatever Charlie knew, whatever he was investigating, it's gone now, scrubbed, erased, and the only person who could have authorized that is ERIKA. People are saying the Epstein network used women as spies, attractive women from modeling and pageant circles who could blend into elite spaces, build relationships relationships, gather intel, and report back. And once placed in a relationship or role, they'd normalize extremist ideas, move messages, and ensure the network's operations stayed protected. And if ERIKA was one of those women, then marrying Charlie Kirk wasn't love. It was an assignment, a way to infiltrate Turning Point, control the narrative, and ensure that when the Epstein files started dropping, nobody in that organization would push too hard. And when Charlie started pushing anyway, when he demanded full transparency, when he requested audits into suspicious finances, he became a liability. And liabilities get eliminated. Now here's what makes this even more terrifying. The next phase of the Epstein fallout isn't happening on social media. It's happening in investigations, lawsuits, and reopened cases. And once timelines move from comment sections to court filings, silence doesn't protect anyone anymore. And the people who look the calmest right now, the ones playing the role of the grieving widow, the loyal representative, the faithful Christian, they might be the ones most worried about what gets said next. Because if the allegations about ERIKA and Tyler are true, if they really did know each other before Charlie, if they really were intimate, if she really did pay him to set this up, then this isn't just about one. It's about a network, a system, a pipeline that's been operating in plain sight for years. And ERIKA Kirk might be the key to exposing all of it, or burying it forever. The trial is set for May, and when online detectives are digging harder than the FBI, there's no telling what else might come out. But one thing's clear, ERIKA's losing control of the narrative. The mask is slipping, and the more she talks, the more people see through it.
And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
No confusion, ERIKA? Because from where everyone's standing, there's nothing but confusion and a whole lot of questions you're refusing to answer.